guys, so people overestimate the role of passion and having money or finances in starting and running a successful farm, and they underestimate the role of two really critical things that are actually quite important in the general likeliness of success on a farm. And so in today's video, I'm going to be talking about this factor. So if this is you, or if you're interested in actually understanding the things that play a key role in you starting and thriving in a farm, stick around right through to the very end. Passion. We'll start with passion. Now, in reality, if people actually understood the definition of passion, then it wouldn't be a problem, because passion is necessary. The problem is that people don't understand the definition of passion. So naturally, if someone tells you that I'm passionate about music, I'm passionate about business, people think about something they love, something that they enjoy to do. If someone tells you I'm passionate about singing, you're like, oh, I enjoy singing, I really love it. In reality, that's not what passionate means. Passionate means having enthusiasm of something. Now, unfortunately, when I tell people that I'm a passionate farmer, the thing that they think about and imagine is that I have always loved farming from way back. Unfortunately, that's what passionate has come to, mean. And so we're going to take it using the definition that people utilize currently to talk about passion. Yeah. So I personally, for example, am passionate about poultry farming and farming in general, but I didn't grow up farming. I was born in the city. I grew up in the city. We didn't have any land. I grew up like just seeing vehicles, cars, and houses and everything around. There was no gardens, there was no nothing. So I didn't really get any exposure to like any form of farming. Forget about proper farming, any form of farming, until I started my farming business. I didn't, yeah? So I would probably, occasionally come and visit in the village. So I would see like my uncles, they would have gardens and, sunflower and things like that. Once in a while we would harvest for them, but I didn't pick any interest in them. So I was never really exposed to farming growing up. So I can't tell you that I developed a passion for farming. No, I didn't. And the thing about passion is that it is difficult for someone to say that they're born with passion. You see, people have this mistake that makes them think that passion is an inborn thing. Yeah, that someone gets passionate about something because they naturally are passionate about it. So you'll meet someone, or they'll meet someone random and they're like, what are you passionate about? And the person will be like, well, I'm passionate about music. Or someone else will be like, I'm passionate about nothing. And I'll tell you the thing about passion, or a love for something. Love for something simply depends on exposure. For example, I was exposed to guitar when I was maybe about 14. And so I got to love the guitar, and I enjoy it, I love it, I'm passionate about the guitar. Now, someone who has never been exposed to the guitar, they don't know anything about the guitar, they'll never tell you that they are passionate about music or guitar. In reality, if that person had been exposed to it, most probably they would even have loved it way more than you. They would be more passionate than you, yeah. But they've never been exposed to it. They don't know what it means. I am in Uganda. We don't play American football in Uganda. I've never been exposed to American football, and I am not passionate about American football. In fact, I'll tell you something. No Ugandan is passionate about American football. Maybe a few who have probably gone to the US. None of them is passionate about it. Does that mean Ugandans inherently are meant to not be passionate about American football? No. It's all because they haven't been exposed to it. So the role of passion is that passion only develops in something that you've been exposed to. Yeah. So if you haven't been exposed to something, you can't develop passion for it. Now, the fact that you've never been exposed to something and so you haven't developed passion for it doesn't mean that you can't do it and be successful at it. Yeah. So I hear it a lot when people are talking and they're like, for you to become a successful poultry farmer, you must be passionate about it. Yeah. So someone is outside there, they have never started a farm, they have never been exposed to a farm growing up. They want to start a farm, but then someone comes and tells them, hey, for you to actually be successful about that thing, you need to be passionate about it. What does that mean? Where am I supposed to get the passion from? I mean, is it supposed to come upon me like the Holy Spirit for me to develop love for it? I've never been exposed to it. I've never tried doing it. There is no way you're going to get passion for it. In fact, I personally, when I was starting my farm, I had no passion for farming at all. Like I've told you, I didn't have any exposure for it, and I only started it for business purposes. I'll be honest. I only started a farm because I did my research, and from my research, I discovered that it's something that would probably give me money. And I only developed passion later on. Because, tell me the honest truth, which person will be making sensible money from something and they don't get passionate about it? Yeah, I didn't love chickens, I didn't love farming, I didn't love growing stuff. But when I started it and it started making me money, I was like, whoa, this actually makes me money. I love it. Yeah. So that's it. I mean, if you're making money from something, you're certainly going to develop passion for it. So you don't need passion to start out something. What you actually need is the real definition of passion. You don't need passion as the world, defines it, as something that you're interested in, as something that you love, as something that you enjoy. You don't need to enjoy it. You don't need to be interested in it, like, to have had some form of prior interest in it. No, you actually need proper passion, enthusiasm about it. But that's something we're going to talk about later on. Second thing is money or finances. Yeah. So, I mean, I've had my farm grow a bit. Yeah, it's quite big at the moment. I mean, I have 12,000 birds. When I started out, I had 800 birds, and back then people thought that I had a big farm. Well, I also thought it was quite big. Yeah, but I had bigger dreams. Right now, it's 12,000 birds, and it has managed to grow. So right now, I do have some money coming in. But I mean, I started with 800 chickens. I didn't start with 12,000 birds. The time that I started my farm, I was earning about $800 in terms of salary per month. Yeah, $800. Now, that's not little money, but that's not a lot of money. Yeah, I mean, it's not a lot of money. I mean, if you convert that into amount of money, and for the whole year, I was earning less than $10,000 in terms of my salary for the entire year. As a doctor, less than $10,000. Yeah. Now, someone will tell you that for you to start a farm and do something like that, you need to have a lot of money. That's nonsense. Yeah, nonsense. What you actually, and I've actually made quite a number of videos on this YouTube channel about, starting a farm without having a lot of money and things like that. You can go and check it out. But you can actually start a farm with as little money as possible. Yeah, I started with 800 chickens because I was a doctor and I had a salary, and I could, support the birds in terms of feeding with my salary. But people have started with much less. People have started with, 500 birds. People have started with 300 birds. You can even start with 100 birds. I mean, again, that's if you're talking about chickens. Yeah, if you're starting with cattle, you can start with one cow. Yeah, you can start with one cow and start producing milk from it, and before you know it, there are 2. Before you know it, there are 5. Before you know it, there are 50. Yeah, so you don't need too much money to start out. Yeah, the problem with a lot of people is that they are greedy. Yeah, they are greedy and they're not patient. And what that means is that they want to have a big farm. They want to have a huge farm. They want to start with 12,000 birds like me. They want to start with 2,000 birds. They want to start with 1,000 birds when they can't handle 1,000 birds. If you can only handle 500, start with 500 and then grow. Give it time. Yeah, you need to be patient. The thing about making money is that it requires patience. Yeah, you need to be patient and give it, time. Yeah, but having so much money is not key. Yeah? I didn't start with a lot of money. I already told you that. Again, for a lot of people, what I was earning was a lot, but in reality, it's not a lot of money. Yeah, compared to how much I spend on the farm currently, that's very little money. I mean, very, very little money. So a lot of people want to start with where I am. No, I didn't start from here. I've been 6 years right now into the poultry farming business. So for you to actually start, you have to go back to the first year in which I started. And for you to thrive and get to this point, it's not only money that you're thinking about. You're thinking about everything else that you have to learn along the way. The heartbreaks, the hustle, the losses, implementing all kinds of things in order to get to this point. It takes a while. It takes a bit of time for you to get to this. Yeah. So money is important, but it's not the main thing. So then you're telling me, Dr. Daniel, what are the 2 main things? Well, I'll tell you the 2 main things. Number 1 is desire, and number 2 is discipline. Yeah? If someone has money and is passionate, i.e. they love something, they will always be beaten by someone who has desire and discipline. What is desire? Let's start with desire. Desire is that thirst, that enthusiasm to get something done. Personally, when I started out, I had desire. Yeah. What did I do? I was earning money at that particular point. I was working as a doctor. I was earning a salary. But I personally felt like, the money that I was getting was not enough. It certainly wasn't enough. Yeah. And so I was like, what am I going to do? I started thinking about all these kinds of businesses that I could come up with and all these things. And I decided I was going to do a farm. At that time, it was greenhouse farming. Later on, it changed. And I decided to, do a poultry farm after consulting. But I had desire. What I used to do is that I would work Monday to Friday, Saturdays, half days, and then the rest of the time I was on the farm. Saturday, the rest of the day, Sunday, the whole day I was on the farm. Yeah, I had people. I mean, by then, like I've said, I was working as a doctor. Yeah, I was working as a doctor, but I mean, that didn't change anything for me. Yeah, I would make sure that even on the weekdays, if I get very busy or if something comes up, I run to the farm. It doesn't matter what's happening. I was very interested. I had a deep desire. I mean, I remember my grandmother, by then she was still alive, and she used to help me manage the farm. She was like, she used to think that I'm crazy, yeah? Because as soon as I get to the farm, First thing I do is put on my gumboots and enter the chicken house. She's like, whoa, this guy is really crazy. He's so interested in what he's doing. Yeah, but I mean, if you're really interested in it, how are you not going to succeed? How are you not going to thrive? Yeah, you need to be interested in it. If you have that desire will ensure that you do everything that is required. It will ensure that, you look for the money. It will ensure that you implement everything that, you want to implement. Number 2 is discipline. Discipline is actually the ability to follow through and do the things that you've said you're going to do. Yeah. So if I'm going to start a farm, I need to make sure that I feed the birds. I will feed the birds. It doesn't matter the circumstances. If I tell myself that I'm going to be the farm every weekend without fail, I'm going to be at the farm every weekend without fail. Occasionally, I talk to a lot of farmers and they start farms and then they tell themselves that they're going to start the farm, they're going to be as present as possible. And I mean, they'll show up at the farm once every 2 months, once every month at the beginning of the farm. Now, it's okay for you to actually not show up at the farm after some time. I mean, for me, I can take 2 weeks, a month without stepping on the farm. But when you're starting out, that's totally not acceptable. Yeah, you need to be present to learn a lot of the things so that later on when you're delegating and you're getting other people in charge, you know what's happening on the farm, you know what to delegate, you know what information to give who, what to say to them, and all these kinds of things. Yeah, so it is very, very important that you're disciplined, very disciplined. Yeah, if it does come to implementation of particular protocols, for example, for me on the farm, I have a no visitors role on the farm, and whilst I might bend it for a few special people, for the biggest margin, I try to make sure that I keep by it. Yeah, so I don't allow random people to come on the farm. Yeah, I know a lot of people have contacted me by email, through all these social media platforms, and you want to visit on the farm, and I've told you no. And it's all because I'm trying to be, to keep the discipline. It's been since 2021 that I had a proper outbreak on the farm, and I mean, I want to keep it that way. It's 4 years, in fact, over 4 years since I had a proper outbreak on the farm, and I want to keep it that way. Yeah, because an outbreak could mean the entire collapse of the farm. I want to keep it that way. So it requires discipline for you to actually build that and keep it that way. Yeah. Now, if you can do those 2 things, have a proper desire, that desire that will cause you to do anything to make the farm thrive, number 1, and number 2, have the discipline to ensure that you follow through and implement the things that you're going or you promised yourself to do. I can guarantee you that you'll beat someone with money. I can guarantee you that you'll beat someone who has love for something, because love for something doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to push through it. The thing with love is that, if you just love something and you enjoy something, you don't want it to be an inconvenience. You don't want it to stress you. Yeah, that is the thing with it. Yeah. So if, for example, you love farming and then it reaches the point whereby you're not making any money from the farm, it will start frustrating you. And if something you love starts frustrating you, what you do is that you start avoiding it. You're like, no, I don't want something I love to start frustrating me. So instead of you having the desire and the enthusiasm to push through, to implement it more, you end up stepping back a little bit. Yeah, because the reason you do this thing is for enjoyment. And right now, it's actually stressing you. So like, why the hell am I doing something that's stressing me, yet it's supposed to be something for enjoyment? So you end up, leaving it and, stepping away from it. Yet that's not how you actually run a business. Yeah, running a business is about discipline. It's about, enthusiasm. It's about desire. When you run a business and it actually starts bringing you money, trust me, whether you believe me or not, you're going to become passionate about it. You're going to love it. You're going to enjoy it. It's going to become inevitable. Yeah, because who is not going to love something that brings them money? Yeah. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, smash the notification bell. If you want to start a proper poultry farm, whether you're passionate about it or not, whether you have substantial amounts of money or not, but you want to start a poultry farm and actually be successful, have certain likelihood that you're going to be successful, then I invite you to join the Farm Up Academy. I'll leave a link to the Farm Up Academy in the description. I have quite a number of students inside there. A lot of them have joined. Some of them have even started farms. Their farms are thriving. They're enjoying it. It's very beautiful. Yeah. Inside there, I share all the information that you require to start and run a successful poultry farm. All the templates that I personally use, that I've utilized to help me grow my farm from 800 birds to right now 12,000 birds, and planning on building another chicken house that's going to take it to 15,000 birds very soon. So if that is you, if you're the person who is interested in that, then come on, check out the link below where you can go and join the Farm Up Academy, and catch you there very soon. Lots of love. Catch you very soon with another video. Lots of love. Bye-bye.